Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for another Pro Data Man Trains demo. I'm Antoine Victor, and in this demo, we're going to take a look at creating a new instance of an Amazon machine image in AWS. So let's go ahead and dive into the matrix and take a look. So what we're going to do in this demo is we're going to log into AWS console, and we are going to create a new instance of a shared public AMI. This AMI already has Ubuntu on it. It's got an RSA SSH key that we can use to connect to other instances that we create from this same image. So let's get into the AWS console and get into the right region, and we'll create that instance. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my username and password that you guys don't need to see. And now that we're logged into the console, we will navigate to the Elastic Compute area. Now it's here in my recently visited area, but if we were navigating for the first time, we can go to Services and to Compute. And in the Compute area, you'll see EC2. You'll also notice that I have it starred, so it shows up by default. But let's navigate to Elastic Compute 2, and we'll go to Running Instances, where you can see I have no instances running already. So I'm going to choose the Launch Instance button over here in the upper right. And here in the Launch Instance window, I'm going to add a little bit of info. First up, I'm going to add my instance name. Ubuntu RSA. And I'm going to search for the AMI ID that you will find in the description. This AMI already has Ubuntu and the necessary RSA SSH keys so that we can connect to our target servers. These existing keys will allow us to create multiple instances of this server, and those instances will be able to connect back and forth with each other. So we're going to go ahead and select this AWS Ubuntu RSA SSH 2022 Amazon machine image. I'm going to select it. And pretty much we're going to accept the defaults after that. We'll go ahead and leave the default for the instance type, T2 micro, that's free. And for the key pair, this is the one change that we're going to make. We're going to create a new key pair so that we can connect. I'm just going to call my key pair YouTube demo key. And because we're going to use PuTTY, I'm going to switch from PEM to PPK and choose Create Key Pair. You notice that the key pair is also downloaded to my local machine, so I can use it in PuTTY to connect to this instance once it spins up. Now, other than that, I'm going to allow HTTPS and HTTP traffic in case I want to spin up some web servers and test these instances. And one other thing I'll change here, because we have the ability to connect with SSH to multiple instances, I'm going to go ahead and create 3 instances here. Review my settings. Got a T2 micro using the AWS Ubuntu RSA SSH 2022 image. And it's going to be on a T2 micro using the new security group that's being created that allows for HTTP and HTTPS traffic, and using the default storage limits for this image. Now I'm going to go ahead and launch that instance. And we have success. Well, at least we have success in beginning the provisioning process. If we go back and look in instances now, we should very shortly see that we have 3 instances. There are our 3 running instances. And I'm going to take the IP address of the first instance, the public IP address down here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy this IP address, the public IP, And then I'm going to switch over to PuTTY. In PuTTY, I'm going to paste that IP address right here into the host name or IP address field. And then I'm going to drop down to connections and I'm going to go to data. Here, I'm just double checking to make sure the auto login username is set to Ubuntu. Then I'm going to go to SSH, expand that, and make sure that under auth, I add my key that we just downloaded, the YouTube demo key. So I'm going to browse to that. In the downloads folder here, you can see that today a YouTube demo key was downloaded. So I'm going to select that and choose open. And now, so that I never have to do this again, I'm going to go back to session and I'm going to save this as the default settings. And then I'm going to attempt to open the connection to my first server. It opened up on my other window over here, but you can see it's prompting me to trust the key because this key is not currently cached in the registry. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes to cache that key. And over here on my other window, you can see that I've got a connection to that server now. Now, just to make sure that our keys are working, we're going to attempt to connect to these other two servers. So I'm going to select the second server and grab its public IP and back to PuTTY. Inside of my PuTTY connection here, I'm going to SSH into that IP address that I just copied. And again, it's going to prompt me to trust the key that's being presented. So I'm going to say yes. And now I have a connection to that second server. I'm going to exit out of that connection. And then we'll get the third server's IP address. And we'll SSH into that server from the first server again. SSH. And then paste the IP. And again, we'll accept the key. And now we are connected to that third server. I'm going to exit out of there. And we'll go ahead and stop the demo there. In the next demo, we'll use these Ubuntu servers with SSH keys on them already to install Ansible and do some basic web server installation using a simple playbook and inventory file. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe so you're notified when the next video comes out. And ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. My name's Antoine Victor, and this has been another Pro Data Man Trains demo. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.